Today I'm at a customer's home and we're going to be repairing a Google Pixel 4a. Normally I have the customers come to me when they're this far away, but she's kind of far away, so I had to come up to her. So right now we're going to put this phone on the heater, and it's our hot pad, and I got the new part here. So I recommend getting this if you plan on fixing multiple devices, or you can also get a heat gun or hair dryer. But you want to get it nice and warm, hot to the touch. I just put it at 120 degrees Celsius here, and then I wait for about 3 to 5 minutes. So when it's nice warm to touch, then we can bring it over to the hot pad and get this repaired. All right, so you can wear a glove or whatever. So I'm gonna just take an iSesame tool and we're gonna pry it off, but right now she's having green lines and unfortunately we could not turn it off. This phone has been repaired before, so it's a little bit easier to remove the adhesive because I use T7000. And so you just take your iSesame tool all around and remove the sides here. And then you could also use iFlex tool if you're having trouble getting in as well, and run it along the sides here. But she's definitely dropped this, and so it's popped off pretty easily. And so you're gonna just rotate it off to the right here. Make sure you don't touch the front camera or the fingerprint sensor. Oh, there's no fingerprint sensor on this one. All right, so we're gonna remove these two screws. I do believe they're T4 screws here. Yep. You just set that off to the side. If the screws are falling out, you can use this magnetizer to do that. All these parts are going to be in the link in the description. So just click on that and you'll be able to get the T4 screwdriver, iFlex it, and iSesame tool to remove this. And you're going to need T7000 for the glue to reglue it. So just going to set this to the side and just make sure this is correct alignment. It looks like it's reversible, but sometimes you never know. All right, so that's where a proximity sensor is in the front camera, but there is no fingerprint reader on this one. So we're gonna take, did it just turn off? Okay. So we're gonna take our iSesame tool and go ahead and just cut the adhesive around. What I'm doing here is just cutting off the old T7000 that I put on here. We're gonna try to get a nice and smooth surface. This could take you up to, 10-15 minutes scraping off all the glass. But it is very critical that you remove all the adhesive as much as possible, and then you're going to clean the inside of here and make sure that you remove any tiny piece of glass shard. And it's super critical that you do this, because if you put a very flat piece of glass on here and a very flat piece of LCD onto a tiny little glass shard, you'll immediately crack it. So you want to make sure that you get every piece off. And so this is our speaker grill right here. Just work around it. Try not to get anything on top of that camera as much as possible, so that way we don't create fuzziness, especially your fingerprint. It's really hard to clean a camera lens, so you don't want to do anything like that. You could also clean the sides here with like flat tweezers and stuff. That could help get this glue off if it's being a little rough or difficult to remove. I'm just going one more time around, checking everywhere, making sure I got that nice and smooth surface for this new screen to sit on. And you're just going to look under a nice bright light. Unfortunately, we don't have greatest light here, so I'm just going to use my iPhone. And then we're going to just check for shiny glass shards and extra glue. Anything that you've missed, just scrape it off. Now, hopefully in the future this mid frame is going to be replaceable, but as that is right now, I don't see it available. So I'm just running my finger across here and making sure I don't have any glass shards anywhere. Okay, so now that we got that all checked up, now we grab our new screen here. Once again, you can get these new screens. Get that 1-year warranty from Injured Gadgets. Save a little bit of money, help support our channel as well, and you can get it fairly fast from them too. Oh my gosh, looks like I have a cracked one in here. All right, so we are on part 2. I actually had to drive to the customer's house all over again because when I pulled this thing out, it was broken. It's either I dropped it or I switched out with a broken one hoping to get refurbished. That's most likely, but not sure. Anyways, so now we got the new screen and we're going to go ahead and test it before installing it fully. So you can use your finger or you can use some tweezers or something to help you guide this in, but I like using my fingers so I can feel it clip in. So I actually felt it clip in, and then I just pressed just a little bit around the edges just to make sure we got a solid connection, okay? Then we can go ahead and install the bracket. And the reason why we're going to do this is because we have to twist that cable, and I want to make sure that this doesn't come up while we're testing it. I'm going to put these T4 screws in. And then we're going to go ahead and turn it on and test everywhere. My customer is definitely holding back her excitement.
Yeah, very excited. I'm glad it's even turning on since I couldn't turn it off.
Mm-hmm. This cost me about 4 hours of driving, round trip, and you know, because I'm coming back multiple ways, and then also the overnight fee to get this going for her. Alright, so I usually just go emergency and touch and make sure the screen works, but it's always recommended to you know, touch everywhere. Where's the, oh, swipe up. Am I not doing it right?
Do you want me to put in my pen?
Let us get out. Maybe. Now I definitely want to test it. Okay, so that button is definitely working. It just wasn't wanting to move us from emergency for whatever reason. Okay, so we're just touching everywhere and then pulling up a text message or a search, and then being able to just touch, and you can see the scribbly. But unfortunately it doesn't go higher, as you can see. So that's where the bar comes in, and just making sure there's no dead spots, especially if you have to drive an hour each way. I really don't want a problem. You know, so. All right, now that we got that turned off, you can do 2 options. You can take the screws off and pull off the unit. I don't recommend that because we know it's connected. Or option 2 is just work your way around it. But definitely T7000, this is going to help you get the perfect seal, and that water resistant seal that typically comes with phones. It just turns into this black adhesive. So it's really nice. So we went ahead and removed that so that way it's not covering the camera holes. You could one more time put it down and make sure that there's no fingerprints on anything and make sure those sensors are working. But as long as you're careful, you really don't need to. Because that's the whole point of the factory, you know, they make sure none of that is there. So not too much glue around the ear speaker, but you still gotta have enough to coat it there and make a good seal. I like the T7000 because it's not going to leak into the ear speaker unless you actually put it over on top of it. But yeah, it's not going to leak in there, causing more issues. Unlike other liquid glues. All these parts are going to be able to be found on Injured Gadget's website. Now, it's just right there in the link in the description. All you have to do is make the video a little bit smaller. Click on the link, search for T7000 at Injured Gadget's website and the Google Pixel 4a. Now, if you have the 4a 5G, this is very similar to that, almost identical to fix that phone, and eventually I will make a video for that. And Pixel 5 eventually comes as well, but I've been having trouble finding those parts. So, just remove the plastic so that way we can double check our seal. And you put your screen protectors on or anything like that, and then you're going to put this under some weight. So, what I recommend you doing after you're putting screen protectors, or if you don't got any of that, go ahead and set that back down. You can clean off that extra glue later, and you're going to put it on a nice flat clean surface, a book, and a 10-pound to 20-pound weight on top at the most for a good hour. That's going to help really seal this phone and make sure that you don't have any issues. All right, guys, this is Dustin with Tech and D, and thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and more detailed videos coming in the future. Thank you.